On today's episode of Watch Jericho, we are here with a 2012 Honda Fit that has nowhere to go. And today, we're going to try to save it. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Jericho, and like I said, I am here with this 2012 Honda Fit that's got a couple of issues. And the owner has tried to get these issues fixed. They took it to mechanics. They said, sorry, we can't help you. They took it to the Honda dealership and they said, you're out of luck, we can't help you. And that makes no sense because I called the Honda dealership yesterday to get the broken part and they can get it. It's special order and you have to, you have to go through the whole special order process, but they can definitely get the part and they should have been able to fix this problem. And it doesn't make sense to me that they didn't do it. Although I do think after looking at this part, the reason they said they can't do it is because it's really expensive and a ton of time. And the problem that nobody seems to be able to solve is the driver door lock will not unlock electronically or on the remote. So like I said, I found the part. Honda wants about $400 for it. It's hard to get. So today we're gonna get it. And hopefully we can get this thing fixed on the cheap. But before we do that, you can see this thing is a mess. It's been a while since it's been washed. So first, we're gonna start by washing this thing up. The headlights are basically unusable, so we're gonna try to get that done today. We're gonna try to clean up everything we can today here in the Avalon King detail bay before we do this door lock. And hopefully that doesn't take too long after we acquire the parts and get it all done. So I do think that's gonna be a bit of an adventure, but first I've gotta clean this thing up. Plus, I'm gonna rub all over it and I don't wanna get all this dirt on my pants. So that's the main reason we're cleaning it up. So we got this thing all cleaned up and you can see it's much better, much drier. The windows are looking good. We sprayed some polygloss on here to make the water bead a little bit. Don't have time to get a full ceramic coating done on it or polish it, but you can hear, it's tough to hear, but that is some pretty solid feeling paint at this point. So we did a quick cleanup just of the exterior and now we have this problem that we're here to solve. So if you guys come over here and take a listen inside this door, you'll hear, I'll use the electric door locks. You hear every other door. And nothing happens on this door. Not even a blip out of this door. So that tells me we have a wiring issue, either in the rubber boot that runs from the door to the chassis or the cabin itself, or the electric motor and the door lock is bad. And after the slightest bit of Googling, Honda owners are upset about their door locks. I have found out. Lots of threads like garbage door lock actuators. And then the thread says, I had to replace 2 in 5 years. And I'm like, those are Honda people problems. If it was any other brand, we had to put a couple engines in 5 years. But today, we're gonna fix this thing. So I already started pulling off this armrest. It just kind of pops right off. A little bit of a wiggle there. And there's a Phillips screw under here and a Phillips screw right here. And that's what holds the door panel on. I'm being serious, that's all there is. There's one wiring harness plug right here, push up on the tab, wiggle, and you should have all the connectors for the door power out of there. And we are ready to start tearing this door panel off and swapping out our part. Now, we gotta get a part. Like I said, special order at Honda, no go at O'Reilly's, no go anywhere else on the internet except for a few of the websites where you can tell that they're people that are calling Honda and special ordering it and shipping it to you. And you can find the part a little cheaper from some of those guys. I'm sure they're buying multiples. But today, we have to get this done really fast. We don't have time to wait a week for a special order to come in. So we're gonna head to LKQ and find another Honda Fit and find this part. So let's go. So we are at LKQ now, and they don't allow us to film, so here we are with the iPhone, as always. What an insane rule, don't you guys agree? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, this 2010 Honda Fit has been here since 3/23 of 22, which means it's probably been well picked over. But lo and behold, it's a side impact with a curtain deployment. And I was like, I walked up and I saw the curtain, I was like, the doors are gone. Look at the driver door. The driver door is in pretty okay shape. So today's mission is to get this door panel off of here, get the lock actuator out of here, and I think we'll take the harness with it as well in case we end up with a wiring issue. We can splice back into a spare harness here. So we'll cut the harness back as far as we can. Ooh, a new handle cup as well. Look at all this good stuff coming out of this here Honda. Oh, and they made it easy to get the handle cup off. So this is a cable-based deal, and I think we're probably ready to just grab this door panel. Ah, yeah. So easy. So they can come out with the panel. There's the screw. Somebody went hard over here. There's a dual overhead cam engine, and they wanted something, apparently the cams, and they cut the whole exhaust out with the Sawzall, left the intake on the head and pulled it. That is a crazy move. Oh, look at that. Door panel delete. All right, door cup. Let's find ourselves a lock actuator. Where's she at? She's in here somewhere. This appears to be our door lock. So we'll pull that connector right there. It looks like we're gonna need a 10 and a Phillips, and this thing should drop off. Honestly, this whole door is in really nice shape for being hit. So now I'm covered in nice sticky black adhesive from the vapor barrier. It gets all over you in like a half second. Nothing you can do about that. You pull out a Phillips right here, and then there's 3 more Phillips in the actual door. Oh. You need a number 3 Phillips for this, just a pro tip. This is why Honda wants $400 and change for the lock mechanism, because it's like the whole door. It's the lock that goes into the handle, it's the handle cup, it's all the electronics, everything is in there. So we got that out. Huge thanks to Jason, his son, for helping out here. And also a bonus spoiler came with it. Now we're out of here. It took a long time to get this. Well, now we know why Honda wants $400 for this part. It's the entire door, basically. We've got the door handle cup, the door handle, all the cables for the lock and the handle, the power unit. This actuates the door handle itself, actually actuates that rod. And then the keyhole is cable driven as well. What a crazy design. Honda shoved it all in there, all of the mechanics of the door. So I guess it makes sense that it's very expensive. Also, we weren't aware that this car had the factory spoiler, so we picked up a factory spoiler thinking we were gonna put it on here after painting it black. But if you take a gander at it, it sure does have a factory spoiler. So what if a little bit of double-sided tape and a center prop, this thing would look super sick with dual wings, don't you guys think? Or this one will just go on Facebook. But it does look cool with dual wings. Can't be mad about that. It actually looks really cool from behind too. It's like, that's a nice look. So if you want your Honda Fit to be epic, just stack 2 factory spoilers. No one will know what you did. So to pull this thing apart at home or at LKQ, take the right tools. What you really need is a number 3 with the wrench thing on it. These screws are so tight, they're probably red Loctited in. It does not come apart easily. It does not give up. I was beating on my screwdriver with the ratchet, and eventually a number 2 Phillips and an impact is what got it apart. It would not come apart with this and all my weight in the car. So good luck. Oh, and we got a number 3 while we were there, and it immediately snapped the bit. That's how tight these are. So throw your number 3 in your impact driver and let it eat, and that should get this done. To start with, you need a number 2 to pull the others, and it's a quick and easy job. 2 screws. There's 1, and there's 2. To get the door cup out, there's a little slot right there. Pry from the back a little bit, it slides forward, and then the door cup just kind of falls out. So that's all you have to do for that. And now we should be able to just pop this whole door panel out, slide it back a little bit, and somehow work this back through the opening. There it goes. Door panel removed. And now we get to pull the vapor barrier off. Give me a minute to do that. That's the connector for the lock. Super easy, actually. And pull out the 3 screws that hold the lock assembly in. It's actually a nice job. It makes sense the way they did it, but then putting it all together and charging an insane amount of money for it is also pretty crazy. And now with the power of the right tool and this insane impact, and that's how you do it without stripping out your screws. This took 30 minutes at the salvage yard. And this one here, I had all my weight in. Lock assembly is removed. So all we really have left is getting it out of here. And I think we're gonna have to move the window track to do that. So I'm gonna pull this tin. There's a tin deep inside here that holds the lock assembly just pop that off. You'll need an extension to get that far inside the door, and that pretty much gets everything out except for the rod to the door handle. If you look at it for a second while you're working on it, it's a pretty simple job, but just be ready with a, you know, a number 3 and some tins and the right tool that'll rip these things apart because they are tight. Okay, there's a tiny little clip on the door handle. It's one of those ones that like flips over and locks the shaft into, it's basically a lock bushing. You snap it in, you put a rod in there, you flip it down, and it makes sure it can't come out. It's that guy right there with the little tapered head on it. So that is locked in. I got it unlocked with just a straight bit screwdriver. I pulled the tin out that holds the window rail, and that's that. So now we have the broken lock assembly. I guess we should have tested this. That would have been what smart people do, but hey, I didn't proclaim to be that. But hey, we're here with the new part, so I guess we can hook the door handle up right now and find out if this thing runs. So before I switch the lock mechanism over, which is another couple seconds of work, lock this guy in. Oh, it works. Listen to this. As soon as you plug it in, you can hear the lock motor run. So we are good to go. Let's pull out the 2 screws that hold in the lock. Oh, this is interesting. And yeah, we should be able to pop the cylinder right off with 2 Phillipses, it looks like. And that'll make sure the current key for the car keeps working. Oh, 3 screws here. I'm just hoping, this is very spring loaded. I'm hoping that nothing flies apart. It does not. All right. So here is our new / used lock mechanism that works better than the OEM one. They're both OEM, but you know, you guys know what I mean. And we'll just pop that little guy on there like that. Paint some of these pretty little trees on there. You understand what I'm saying. It's a Bob Ross moment, right? And if this will go back together, come on. There's this little interlocking design in there that the key actually runs. I just need to get these together and put the screws back in, and we're ready. So that's basically the whole job. You do need to take out the tin that holds the window rail. There's the rubber slides for the window in there. There's a single tin, and if you just pull it, you can slide that out and then pull the lock actuator out, stick the new one back in, hook it back up to the bushing and the handle, put the 1 tin back in that holds in the lock. It's that easy. Like, this is a super simple job, and it blows my mind that multiple mechanics said, sorry, you're out of luck, that seems like a bad problem. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, I got the door apart with 0 problems. I've got it sitting back on there. It's not actually on yet, but I think I have everything lined up, which means we can start giving it the old pop to get the Christmas trees back in. Seems like those are all back in. Let's hook this guy up right here. And that's it. All of that work, multiple years of having to unlock your car with your key. You guys know what a nightmare that is. I know there's gonna be a bunch of people in the comments like, you could just use the key. No, you're walking up to your car, it's 106 today. You do not want to be fumbling with your key before you jump in and try to turn on that air conditioning. It's not okay to be having to use your key, not to mention if you have the power locks, when it's snowing, if the locks froze up, it still works. So we solved many problems today. And all we have to do now is slide this back into place. So the handle here, I gotta figure that one out. I didn't exactly do my due diligence there. But it looks like you just go like this. And that is exactly what you do. And this screw locates that handle. So put this in, and it has a little ring that makes sure the handle sits right where it needs to be. Take your number 2 Phillips and tighten it down. There's your door cup, and you've got 1 more screw, of course the 2 Phillips that hold the whole thing together. And we can pop the armrest on, and this thing is completely back together in a matter of minutes. I don't want to know why they wouldn't do it or what they would have charged if they did do it. I would assume a dumb amount of money since they want $400 for the part. Maybe this is a $1,000 job or something like that, but it sure does not seem like that to me. It seems like it's completely fixed. So let's put the armrest on and give it a test. That is one iffy armrest, Honda. If there's one thing I don't like, it's that the whole armrest can move. Cool. Door shuts, lock it. Doesn't work. Cool. Unlock. Might as well check the horn too. Yeah, everything on this car works right. We checked all the buttons. So that should solve lots of pain and heartbreak with the Honda Fit. This thing is back on the road, cleaned up, and we'll give it a quick little vacuum. Should be good to go. Now you know, save yourself. I don't know how much money, I don't have a real quote, I just know the mechanics, and Honda said no. And that's about as bad as it gets. But this $47 part from LKQ, 53 out the door, fixed the whole problem. And the cheapest one you can buy new is $253, and it shouldn't break. Who knows? So, you know, this could fail again, but honestly, it took 30 minutes of work and a trip to LKQ, so I wouldn't even be upset about that. There you go, one fixed Honda Fit, cleaned up, a whole new lock assembly in there, and oh, we're gonna do the headlights. I guess this is bonus content. The headlights are bonus content. Don't forget to keep watching. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgar.com for cool shirts, not like this, and please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you wanna do, and I will talk to you next time. You guys know from my headlight cleaning test that my favorite kit is the Turtle Wax kit, and this is the entire kit right here. These are the UV coatings to make it hold up. This is what you start with, the lens clarifying compound. This is the lubricant for when you're sanding. It's probably soap and water, and these are your sanding pads. It even comes with a glove, although that glove is one of those food ones, and it's probably better to just use your own glove there. So we've got a couple microfibers, and we've got some product here, and we are ready to start cleaning these headlights up, which is what we're gonna do right now. And hopefully, by the end of it, this looks like this. So let's get to it. We are starting with our lens clarifying compound here. I got some on the microfiber, some on the light, just enough that it should create a nice coating as we smear this around. And this first step here is basically to knock some of the yellowed plastic off. It's probably a pretty aggressive compound. You can see it cleans the light very well. And we're just gonna keep it off the paint. Keep going. And it looks like it's already cleaning up quite a bit. When we go to the sanding step here, it should be absolutely awesome. So a few minutes of this, and we're gonna be there. Now, of course, I picked this kit up from O'Reilly's like I did before. We tested everything O'Reilly's had, and I love this one because of how fast and easy the kit is. And I've spent about 30 seconds on this light so far. No exaggeration, 30 seconds. This is what came off the first pass. I flipped the rag over, I dried it with this pass. The rest of this rag's brand new, ready for me to use. There's the lights. That's the OEM one. This is only the clarifying compound. We haven't started sanding. When we're done with this, this light should look brand new. So if you were looking for results, I don't steer you guys wrong. I'm not here for that. So now I'm gonna get busy with the sanding and the spray lubricant. We'll make a couple passes, take a bit of the plastic off there, and we'll switch to the other one and keep right on chugging. Oh, I forgot this stuff smells amazing. It smells like candy. Oh yeah, you can immediately see all the old bug guts and stuff coming off. I'm using my finger to guide it along the paint so the sanding disc isn't close. And we'll just work back and forth on this for a minute, and then it's very easy. Side 1, coarse, side 2, less coarse, side 3, side 4, you just keep going with the other one too. And after a couple minutes, we'll be ready to go on this. And I think you make one more pass of the lens clarifying compound, and we're ready to seal these lights back up. So we'll skip right to the end because I know that's what everybody wants to see. You're not here for all the work. So we're here with our lens base coat wipe. We're starting with that, obviously. You should wear a glove for this probably because it is clear coat. It might be the UV clear coat, but you know, it's clear coat either way. And we're just gonna rub this on. You do wanna make sure both lenses are completely done with this kit, because once you do this, there's no stopping. The pad will dry out if you don't just get it on the lights. So very carefully laying it down and trying to make sure it's even here and there's no spots that are going to fail in the sun. So I think I'm just about done on this lens. There we go. And you do also want to make sure the lights were extremely clean before you lay this down. No breaks. Right back to it with the lens sealing wipe here. I am unfolding them, and we'll start with this one because I did it first. Bing bong! Headlights are done. So another successful turtle wax restoration. It was no big deal. I'd say like 20 minutes in total to make it look really, really good. The sealant's still drying. I'm sure it'll take a little bit, but they do say you're allowed to drive the vehicle immediately, which is interesting because it's Death Valley outside. The sun is beating down on them. It's probably not great sealant drying weather. So we're probably gonna let this sit for a couple of minutes, and this car is completely done. Working electric door locks that apparently no one can fix. Fixed headlights. So that's it. One Honda Fit, ready to head back on the highway.